We're going with a bunch of different copyright-free music today. You're here at Fandoozy Studios with Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Dens. And today in a $100,000 Fandoozy studio, I have with me the one, the only, Mikey YouTube Shultz. How's it going, Mike?
Good, thank you for having me.
Yeah, good. We just did Desi Green. Probably not one of the best podcasts we ever did, but it's tough on guys on fight week. Wasn't too into it until we were talking about weed. Kind of opened up then. I thought the Frosted Flakes would get him more than the weed, but I guess the weed got him.
Yeah, he's off the weed right now, so he didn't have the munchies as much, I suppose.
Yeah, he's probably just thinking about the weed instead of the Frosted Flakes. So I finally got you in the studio. I was trying to get you in here for the Whitman show, but that didn't end up working out. You got anything to say to Dave Whitman? I should get this live first. We can still talk. I'll just put the live on.
David Whitman, he sells tickets. I'll say that. I'll say he's a time traveler. I'll say that.
You talking about the car accident?
That wasn't a car accident, Jeff.
What was it?
That was actually taken May 13th after we boxed in Lockport.
May 13th you guys were doing it?
We already did.
Oh.
You saw the picture.
I saw the picture. I didn't know you had officially had it signed yet.
I told you, David Whitman's a time traveler. He took a picture from May 13th and he just posted it the other day. I
can't believe you guys can do that shit. Maybe you should be on my conspiracy theory show instead of this one.
I am big into conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah? Which ones do you believe in?
Listen, there's lots of this shit. I just don't trust people. Ever since I started playing cards, you got to build up. You got to build up your trust with me. There's cure for cancer. People are making billions of dollars off that. That's one of my things.
Cure for cancer?
Yes.
The big farm? I believe 100% in all those conspiracy theories.
Who's the biggest gang in the world?
The biggest gang in the world?
The fucking pharmaceutical company.
I was going to say the bankers, but maybe the pharmaceuticals. I think they're all interconnected somehow.
Listen, people kill each other on the streets because you're wearing the wrong color. You tell me they ain't going to kill somebody over finding a medication, something that's going to cure something that causes millions and billions of dollars. That's just my own thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I could be wrong. Think about all the people. Think about how if they found a cure to cancer. Think about how fucked up the society would be. Like America, say just America culture, right? There's so many jobs that people would lose in researches and stuff like that. Two, they would all those people that were getting sick that couldn't work, now they got to find jobs. So
what if they got that one pill that cures everything?
Listen, same with AIDS and stuff like that. These people found cure and stuff. Magic Johnson, people like.
I think Magic Johnson's got the cure. He's still around. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't see too many people with AIDS that end up looking like him.
Definitely.
So what's the deal with you and Whitman? Why all the competition?
Honestly, not. I honestly don't really think about him too much. Like, you know, I was just busting his balls about the time traveler thing. I'm just teasing. That may or may not have happened. But he just got in an accident. His competition purely. So I wish him well in his recovery. My competition. He is more like I'm more his competition than he's my competition. I'm not like actively seeking him out. I'm not really seeking out anybody. He messages me all the time. We message each other. He was asking me if I was interested in fighting MMA again. Not so much necessarily against him. He was just asking in general. I said, you know what, if something piqued my interest, you know, I told him, I said, Biggie in his lyrics, he talks about don't make moves unless your heart's in it. You know what I mean? My heart's not really into fighting right now. I do a lot of stuff. I stay active. You know, I like Jiu Jitsu. I like all sports. I like basketball. I play hockey on Sundays. Any sport I like, you know. So I just got my eggs in a lot of different baskets. I'm not focused on like one sport or one aspect of sport. I like golf. I like bowling. You know, I do a lot of sports.
So, do you think poker's a sport?
No,
Nope.
it's a game, and you can get very good at it. Like to me, I learned this probably about maybe 12 years ago or so. Probably about almost 14 years ago. I always thought, I wish I would have known then what I know now about sports. I always thought that sports were something you were just good at. I never realized that you could get better by practicing at stuff. I learned that through like magic tricks, like card tricks and stuff like that. My one buddy did magic tricks. He showed me a couple. I was like, holy shit. Like, how do you do that? He showed me. I practiced. I sucked at the beginning, and then I practiced it more, and then I got pretty smooth with it or whatever. Just practicing. Now I don't do it as much, so I'm not as good at it. But it just let me know that anything you practice at, you'll get better at.
Definitely. I've spoken like a true black belt. What did getting your black belt mean to you in jiu-jitsu?
I suppose it's a big deal, I guess. People rush for belts and are really like, oh, I got to get my blue belt, got to get my purple, got to get my brown. I always tell people, like, enjoy each belt level, because once you're a blue belt, there's no going back and say, damn, I wish I would have did this at white belt. Or say you get your purple belt, there's no like, damn, I wish I would have did this tournament at blue belt. I could have won worlds or whatever. If you plan on doing it forever or for a long time, eventually you're going to be a black belt more than you were all those other belts combined. So when I first started out, I honestly, black belt was so far away. I mean, blue belt was far away. When I started training, it was Matt Godden. He was the blue belt. That was it. And Matt was the fucking man. Like, I'm like, nobody could beat this fucking guy. Like, I'm like, a blue belt was the shit. So to me, like, blue belts, like, me in my head, blue belts, my grading might be a little bit, like, tougher. If I were to grade somebody, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's been a while since I was a blue belt or whatever, but maybe I just hold them to a little bit higher standard, I suppose.
I think we came up in a different time. When we came up, I'm a brown belt now. I'm not close to Mikey yet, but when we came up about the same time, when we were coming up, there was no black belts around us. There was no academies. There was not too much. I remember when Ketry got his blue belt, it was like a huge deal. You know, I can't remember if he's going down to Rochester or North Carolina at the time when he got his blue belt. But
Ketry doesn't know this. He probably doesn't know this. I don't think I told him. First time I went to a Fredonia tournament, he won the absolute division. He was a blue belt. And I was like, holy fuck, that's the best dude in the whole gym.
He beat me that day. He beat me in semis.
I remember he won something in the gi, and then I remember he went against Wally in no gi, and he lost like a controversial, I don't know, maybe it must have went to overtime, because, I mean, how controversial can it be in no gi? But I remember him losing to Wally from Empire in Rochester. Wally the Weapon. I can't think of his last name.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know. I only know him as the Weapon.
Walter McDonald, maybe?
I don't know.
I'm bad with names.
I'm not even sure I knew it.
But
it was a huge deal to get a blue belt back in the day. I mean, it's not like it is today.
I'll say this today, though, too, which, thinking about it a little bit more. So when I was coming up, being a white belt, and there was only one blue belt ahead of me, so the difference is, 9 years ago or whatever, I was looking up to blue belts. I didn't have the access to training partners I got today. So it took me a little over 2 years to get my blue belt. So people today training, say somebody comes to our gym today, like at first I was like, fuck, man, this person, it took me 2 years and I was doing pretty well. Like, I was one of the better people at the gym. Not that there was a lot of people at the gym. I was like, I know I was there a lot. These people shouldn't be getting their blue belts this quick. It should take them at least 2 years, unless they're like a standout. However, now that I think about it, like more and stuff, these people are going against more blue belts, more purple belts, more brown, more black. So they should get it faster because they have access to more information, more training partners. Me, I only had access to a handful of training partners. You come to our gym, any given class, there's 20 to 30 people. When I came, there was, I don't know, maybe 10. And then when Matt and Babu went to I don't know what it was called, Ascension or whatever. There was like maybe me, Matt Bornaro, Dubs, and Frankie Scalzo for a few months, and then we built it back up. So I would actually go to this place called Ronin 57. It was on I think Genesee in Buffalo. I would go there sometimes and train.
That was an old like Taekwondo studio, right?
Yeah, the mats burn like shit. Like,
yeah, we used to train MMA there with Dan Holly and Mike Dizak and those guys too. We were all in there.
Yeah, that burned. I hated training on those mats, getting mat burn. That sucked.
Yeah. I broke my finger there so bad because those mats are so like unforgiving and hard. And I had my finger turned on backwards. It was pretty gross. Probably the worst finger injury I ever had in Jiu Jitsu from those mats.
Yeah. I will say to this day, getting my blue belt, that when I tested with what the fuck is dude? My memory's so fucking shitty. What is that dude's name? I can't even think. Whatever that guy's name is from. He moved to South Carolina. The black belt. I can't even think of his name, dude. But that was the hardest test I've ever taken. Me and Gatills went the same day. We did like an hour something class. Kyle Saunders. My memory's terrible. But I remember him. We rolled for like, we did the class for over an hour. We had to roll with these people. Then we had to roll with each other. Then we had to roll against him. Then before that, we had to show all these techniques and shit. And I remember him like putting me in Casa. And there was a point where I'm thinking in my head, like, he's not even trying. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I got to get out of this. I'm thinking, I remember thinking three things in my head. I remember thinking, I wish Ryan Hall was here and he could teach him a lesson. I remember, I don't know if I should cry right now, or I'm like, I don't know. I might just bite this dude. Like, I don't know. But eventually.
There's a lot pouring you coming out.
Exactly. But eventually I got out, and that's like one of my favorite positions. So I learned a lot from that. A lot of people don't like the testing material or whatever. I implement like a lot of that in my game today.
He was so happy I rolled with him a little bit too.
He looked like a smaller Brad.
Yeah.
Especially when they both had like the long hair. He looked kind of like a surfer dude. Like, all right, this dude. He wasn't like ripped or nothing, but
him and Boca had the best like top pressure. Holy cow.
I don't know Boca. I know that name.
He's a Brazilian. Chuck brought him in once. He was a Del Hiva guy.
Is he with? Okay, I was thinking
Carson Gracie, Del Hiva guy.
I didn't know if he was with Cyborg.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. He's like probably 5'6", like 200 pounds. And he's like all muscle, and he feels probably like 600 pounds when he's on top of you, putting the pressure on. He's the first guy that opened my eyes to like respect pressure on top.
Yeah, Carlson Gracie lineage, right?
Yeah.
So
that is no joke. So what started this whole thing with women? I know you wanted to bet on like every sport. What?
Listen, I would take that bet against anybody. I would do that bet against any professional athlete, anybody. I would take that bet. We could play sport for sport. I'm not saying I'm a professional athlete. I've just played sports my whole life. Especially to me, like professional athletes, they invest a lot of their time in one sport. Like I said before, I got my eggs in too many baskets right now. I'm not really great at anything. I think I'm very good at a lot of things. Like, people don't see me. And the reason why that is I'm playing people at their sport. Like, I'm playing hockey tonight. I play once a week. You know what I mean? And I'm not great, but I can compete with them. I play basketball. Like, again, I'm not the greatest, but I can compete. And I'm doing all other stuff. Golf. Like, when I play sports, like, I can compete. So I don't know how to word it, except like if there was belts and in every sport, if they gave you belts, I might not be a black belt in every sport, but I know I would have a lot more colored belts than most people. A lot of people spend their time and energy into one sport, and that's just not fun for me.
What's the best hand of poker you ever played?
I'll tell you, this is my favorite hand ever. I was in Vegas. I bought in for 100. I lost. 100 lost, 100 lost, 100 lost, 100 lost, 100 lost. I had $150 left to last me 5 days in Vegas. This is my favorite story, poker anyways. So I bought in for I tried buying in for $50, and I was like, okay, if I lose this 50, I'll have $100 left to last me 5 days in Vegas. I was actually there for National Bowling Tournament, and they wouldn't let me. It was 100 minimum. I was like, fuck, what do I do? It was 100 minimum, 300 max. It was at the Orleans. I was like, fuck, what do I do? And So stupid me, I'm a degenerate. I bought him for $100. So if I lose this $100, I have $50 left to last me 5 days.
Might as well want 150 at that point.
That is true. So in my head, I'm like, fuck it. If I lose this, man, it's going to be a lot of walking. It's going to be a lot of McDonald's, like dollar menu. I end up turning that into almost like a 5,000 profit. But the one hand, I had pocket queens. I was a small blind. The button raised. The board comes up. Queen 3-6 with 2 clubs. I checked it. He bets real big. At this point, we both had about 1,000 in front of us. He bets really big. I look at my cards. I'm totally Hollywood. Like, mind you, this is years ago. And I looked at my hand. I call. The whole time I'm trying to pretend like I had a flush draw, missed it, and bet real big on the river. The turn, another brick, nothing. I check. He bets real big again. I look down at my cards, pretending I'm on a flush draw. I call. The whole time on the river, I'm saying no club, no club, no club. The river's a queen. I bet real big, trying to make it look like I missed my flush draw. The whole time I'm saying, please call, please call, please call. He says, I'm all in. I'm like literally shaking as I'm looking at my 2 cards to like look at the board to make sure. I'm like, I call. I had 4 of a kind. He never showed me what he had, but it was like a $2,000 pot. That was my favorite hand ever.
The biggest hand I ever won, I went into the casino at $20. I didn't even have enough to buy in. I had to borrow money to buy in. And 3 hands in, I hit 6s. And then another 6 comes on the board, so I got trips right on the flop. And 3 guys are betting into me, so I call. Another 6. So I got quads. Like, there's nothing, you know? And they're they're betting each other up. And I'm just calling every time, and they ended up both all in. And I tripled up on the 3rd hand in. It was crazy. So I came with $33 or something. I left with like $650.
Last night I just lost an $800 hand. Similar. I had a guy raise on the button. Actually, one of my friends. I had Jack 7 of diamonds. The board comes up. Jack 6-4. He raised it to 15. There was 5 callers. The board comes up. Jack 6-4. Everybody checks to him. He bets 25. I make it 50 to isolate. To see where I'm at. I figured the other guys weren't calling 50. They all folded. He called to 25. The turns a 7, so I got top 2 pair. I bet 45 out like I missed or something, or I'm bluffing. He makes it 95. I shove all in for like another 175 or something like that. He called. He has 5-3. Like, what the fuck? Like, the odds of him 5-3, like his range, I'd say like in the, I don't know, maybe 5 to 15% range. The odds of him having aces, kings, or queens, and I just beat him with 2 pair, are more like the, I don't know, like 50 to 75% range, you know. That one hurt.
That same, when I left with $600, I flopped a straight, and this guy bet me all the way down the river, and I had a dummy end of the straight, and he ended up with the higher end of the straight at the end. And he played, the hand he started with was it was like 7 queen or something, and he needed the 7 to get the top end of the straight because it was all like low cards. Because I started out with like a wheel, and then he had the 6 came, and it like corrupted my wheel, and then he had the 7, and fuck, man.
I hate people, dude.
Yeah, and he was calling huge bets all the way down with nothing, you know.
You can't predict people.
All right, so.
But I'll tell you this, Whitman. We were talking about Whitman in sports. And
could you beat Whitman in poker?
I think I could. Honestly,
I think the 3 of us should sit down with like maybe $150 buy and just play it out.
I'd be all for that. Whitman, honestly, a lot of times I think he's just fucking around, and then sometimes I'm thinking like maybe he's just a little bit jealous because honestly, I don't give a fuck about MMA. I don't care. Like, it was fun for me. It was something to do. I'm an athlete. I like competition. If it wasn't MMA, it'd be something else. If it wasn't that, I'd be searching for competition. I love competition. So me not really caring about it too much, and I did pretty well with it. You know, I had 7 wins, 1 loss. All 7 of my fights were by finish. I had 4 titles, and I honestly didn't even put much effort in it. My last fight, I literally, you know how I trained? I took gi Jiu Jitsu 4 days a week. I didn't take any boxing, anything. I actually fucked up my hand. I think it was about 2 months before the fight, playing hockey. I got checked in a non-checking league. I put my hand down to brace my fall, and I like hyperextended my right thumb I'm sorry, my right middle finger, and I had this like black spot where the callus part is at the bottom. I had this black circle there, and then it eventually went to my knuckle. So I honestly didn't even know if I could throw a punch until till warm-ups after Tommy wrapped me up real tight. I told him, I said, dude, my hand, I don't know if I could throw a punch or whatever. However, mind you, training for that last fight, you know how I train my boxing? I watched highlights of Adrian Broner. And in my head, I was fucking Adrian Broner. Like, in my head, that's what I was. Dub told me, he said, hey, man, what are we going to do? We going to take him down and get a submission? I was like, no, man, I'm gonna try and get a knockout win. Because you know what? I like competition. Like, I don't know.
And what was the result of that fight?
It was like 27-second knockout.
Maybe that's the way to roll. And you guys should check that out. That was for FCP, right?
Yeah.
With the guy with the mask?
Yeah, I actually felt bad after the fight. You know what? That's another reason I haven't fought in a while. I actually, as happy as I am, even with jiu-jitsu, like as happy as I am to win, I'm just as like sad for the person that lost, because I know, man, I know when I lose how much it hurts, you know. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning. When I win, I expect to win. You know, that's what I trained for. I didn't fucking train all those hours to lose. I expect to win. So to me, I've been excited maybe 2 fights in my whole life. I was excited when I fought Hooks because
he's a giant jack.
He was a big
Holy
dude,
fuck.
and yeah, it's nice when people say good luck. Oh man, you're gonna do great. But it's more satisfying when you prove everybody wrong, when all these people, hey man, you want to come out to my fight? I'm selling tickets. And they'll be like, oh, who you fighting? You show them this big fucking jack dude, and they're like, you're going to get killed. Like, what are you thinking? Why are you going to fight him? His boys were talking shit to me on my way to down the ring, down the aisle at the Sportsplex. His dudes were talking shit. They're like, hey, are you Mike Shultz? I'm like, yeah. They're like, good luck, you're going to need it. Talking shit. People don't notice, about 6 weeks before that fight, me and Jordan Marwin were rolling in the cage. I had him in an armbar. He stacked me up, and I heard pop, 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 pop. I was like, tap, tap. And they're like, I had Jordan in the armbar. And they're like, what? I was like, you didn't hear that? And they were like, no. I was like, dude, my ribs literally just went, like, cracked. And I didn't know if I, like, cracked my ribs. I was literally inverted, afraid to go back down, like, to stretch out my legs. My knees were to my, like, chest. And so for that 6 weeks I was at work, I had an ice pack with a Velcro on it, and I would put that on for an hour and a half, put it in the freezer, put it on for an hour and a half. I was taking Motrin, I was babying it, so I couldn't even like roll hard. Like I did very little training hard, like leading up to that fight. So honestly, going into that fight, I didn't know if he took me down, if like it would instantly, if I have to tap or whatever. Like it was such excruciating pain. So like that was the one time I was excited for a fight. Like I was just super excited. Like he was a strong ass dude. Like to get him on top of me, like it was tough. The other time I was excited was when I fought Schultz.
I got one question. How much overweight was he for that fight? He was a lot over, right? 20?
Listen, when I got there, Don said, who's representing you? And I was like, representing what? We're here for the weigh-ins. He's like, well, your guy came in overweight. I'm thinking, well, how much overweight? And he's like, well, he's around 160. We were supposed to fight at 155. Mind you, this was my second fight. I hadn't fought in over a year. I don't think it was before that. I can't remember when the time I fought before that was. I didn't really know how to cut water weight. I weighed myself after that fight, the night after I had ate like shit, the night after weigh-ins, after I had the fight, the day of the fight, I had a big breakfast, a decent lunch. After we fought, I drank a bunch, not alcohol, but I drank. Then I went out to eat. I weighed myself that night. I was like 156 maybe. So I didn't really know how to gain weight. They said he was around 160. So what does that mean? I don't know, 162, 163. Don's getting a fight. He know that dude sold mad tickets. I sold a lot of tickets for that fight. Around 160. So we'll say 162. So if he really was because Bubba was actually there with me. Bubba says, we'll make him run around the fucking building. And he's like, dude, I've been trying for hours. He can't sweat anymore. He said he can't do it. So we'll say 162. If he does know how to make the weight, like cut right, I gain about 7 pounds the next day. I get to 145. I might walk around maybe 152. So if he knows how to write, he was close to probably 170. I was like so I'll give him like 15 pounds maybe yet on me. But he was fucking strong. I could not move that dude. But I'd say the only other fight I was excited for was the Scholl fight. Honestly, just because it was coming off of a loss. You got either that fight or flight attitude when you lose. Like, you could either go in there gun shy, and I think it was
Scholl's a tough dude too. It's not like a joke, man.
Dude, I'll tell you this too now. He was the better fighter. He's the better fighter today. He should have won that fight. But it's an amateur fight. What do you fight amateur fights for? To get better. He learned from that fight. You know, like, why would you come to the ground? Maybe you could compete with me, but why would you? And he was clearly winning the stand up. Why would you engage in that? So he was a better fighter. He should have won that fight. But he made a mistake. You know. That was it. But I was excited after that, man. We had a little bit of a rivalry with that gym before coming off. He was tough, man. I watched him fight, and that honestly, that was the best I've ever seen him up until that point. Like, I watched him fight before that, leading up to the fight, and he was a lot better that night, man. He hit me every time he hit me. I was seeing like a flash of light with pink specks, man. He hit me hard, but so.
Good, Mike Shultz. Ground Force Fights. I got him and Rich Mitchell together, and so Rich Mitchell owes me $5 and a rash guard for if Shultz fights.
Shultz tough, man.
He's tough. It's gonna be a great fight for Ground Force Fight. I got a gi from them too, man. I like it.
I saw
that blue gi.
The blue. That's
pretty
dope.
hot, right?
That's dope. With the rhino on it?
Yeah, with the rhino on it, dude. That's hot, man. I like it a lot.
Them belts are dope.
Yeah, man, you should fight for them too. Rematch right now.
He fights at 135.
Yeah, he can go up to fight you again. It's a rematch. You can meet at 43 3/4.
Yeah, something like that.
There you go.
No, thank you. No, he's too tough for me, and I'm too fat right now.
Oh, I can't bring you on and not talk about the gym split. So I know you have some pretty strong feelings about everything that went down between Lake Effect, us, and all over, and just Jiu Jitsu in the area in general. Can you bring that to light a little bit?
I'll say some of the dudes I thought were like super tight friends with, you know. I'll bring it up. I'll just say it right now. Antonio. He was my boy, dude. He was my number one training partner. I thought like he would have said something to me the day he was leaving. He literally told me or talked to me, "Hey man, I'm thinking about leaving." But I got none of that. We were training on Tuesday. It was an open mat. And I heard him telling a few people, "Hey man, it's my last day. I'm not coming back. I'm gonna be training at Lima." I was like, so I waited like an hour. We were starting rolling. Then he came up. He's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go to Lima or whatever. I'm gonna train there." I was kind of in shock, you know. I was like, okay, all right. He's like, "Oh man, we'll still train, dude. I'll still do open mats on Friday. We got Pursue on Sundays, and there's open mat, whatever." I was like, okay, cool. And then he came in Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, I think it was a Wednesday. I don't remember. One of the days he just took all his medals like and flipped out, and I don't know like what happened. I don't really know what happened with all that. But yeah, dude, it was surprising because I held nothing with him. Like I showed him anything I found something cool, man, to help his game. Like I held no secrets. Like I wanted him to get better, you know what I mean? He was my boy. I will go, dude, if you're my boy, I will give you the shirt off my back. Like, literally, if it's cold, I will give you that, you know? Like, so, yeah, man, I felt a little betrayed, you know? I was hurt. I don't know why you would leave me, like, or at least give me the heads up with that.
So he never asked you to go with him?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was supposed to be my boy, you know, like he would do well in tournament, and I was generally happy for him. Like I would repost his shit like on my wall, like, "Hey man, this is my boy, this is my number one training partner." Like I was generally happy for him. I was like, my boy got his purple belt on the podium. He won, you know. I was super happy for him. So I was just disappointed, you know, that he left, man, because I don't know, I'm a very loyal person. So for someone who I thought considered like my best friend, like I found it surprising,
I saw you guys on the mat together all the time, man. You were great training partners. Probably the two most dedicated guys in the gym. I don't think I've seen a day when you guys weren't training together.
Yeah, man. When he was there, dude, I was there. I stopped going on Saturday because I worked every other Saturday, and when I didn't work, I liked picking up overtime to get money. I like spending my money on stuff. I got bills to pay and mortgage and stuff and bills. So I don't know. Catillas and them, they had their own reason why they left months before that or whatever, but no qualms with them. I mean, I don't really talk to them much, but.
Yeah, what do you think about the whole... It just seems like everyone's really competing and real uptight about everything going on.
I'll say this. A lot of people are focused on, like, medals and shit. They really don't mean nothing. Yeah, it's good for you. Like, my goal, honestly, in jiu-jitsu or anything is to be better than I was the day before. All those medals and shit, that's great. The only reason you got those medals is because somebody else didn't compete. Let's be real. There wouldn't be... You know why there's different... belt levels, like in competitions and weight classes, so they could sell tournaments and make money. You think fucking people would be doing tournaments if they had to compete against everybody? No. And I mean, I see nothing wrong with going to tournaments and stuff like that, testing yourself. But if it means more to you than like friendships and stuff like that, it's not worth it to me. When I bowled for varsity, I remember we had the option. If we weren't on the starting team, we could go as individual, and maybe we bowled well enough and we could make the state meet. Our coach told us, Harv Mattis, he's like, you could do that. You can make the state team. He goes, well, who's going to be happy for you? He goes, it's much better to enjoy something with people who care about you. He's like, who's going to be happy for you? Your mom, your dad, maybe your girlfriend. You know what I mean? Your grandma. But if you go as a team, you got 5, 6 other guys, 7 other guys that are generally happy you could share the experience with. I'll say any fight I ever did, I always had people in my corner who had my back, win or lose. I always had dubs in my corner. And honestly, should I have a jiu-jitsu guy in my corner when all of my fights I had I would say I had the advantage on the ground? Probably not. Like, if I'm fucking losing on the ground, I'm in a fucking world of hurt. like I should have need a fucking jiu-jitsu guy telling me what to do I've had the edge on everybody as far as like when I fought people and it went to the ground. Should I have that? No, but you know what? I knew Dubs had my back if I won or lost, So I would always have him in my corner. But these medals, it's I don't know. To me, it's not the hugest deal in the world. I'll say this, like Rafa Mendes. Rafa Mendes, awesome. Everyone regards him best in the world, right? But he loses all the time. Like, you think the best guys in the world are the most humble guys. Like, if jiu-jitsu teach you anything, it should be about being humble. Rafa loses all the time. Like, do you think he could medal in any other weight class? I don't think he could. Do you think he could?
No.
So
weights are there for a reason, man.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
So who cares that he's the champion from I don't know what he competes at, 141 or 143 to 154. Like, that's fake. That's not real world. Just like pound for pound and stuff. That's fake. Does it matter that you're pound for pound the best in the world if you're 115 pounds and you're undefeated? No, because in the real world, people aren't 115. You know what I mean? It's just...
Guys who win absolute, it matters.
It does. So, but I'm saying even the best in the world, though, like Buchecha, everybody, best in the world, biggest guy in the world, best in the world, he don't win all the time. He loses. And I'm sure even if he doesn't in training, he loses. Nobody goes undefeated in this sport or combat sports. People say Floyd Mayweather, undefeated. He went undefeated. You know what? He didn't, though. He's the best at up to, 149 or 154 he's the best at. You think he's beating Triple G, or you think he's beating guys bigger than him? You think he's going to lose? So he's good at that weight class. So,
as long as I talk about boxing, Ali or Tyson.
Don't even get me fucking going. I'll say this just to address it. Ali would destroy Tyson. It wouldn't even be close. You could tag Jerry Young in this. Anybody who thinks that is either trolling me or has no idea what they're talking about. Boxing, yes, it's a physical sport, but it's a lot mental. Mike Tyson is mentally weak. Anytime he fought somebody good, he lost. You can't name me one good person that he beat. You could look up his record. Ali, he's only lost to world champions. He would have Mike Tyson beat before they ever stepped in the ring. It wouldn't even be close. He had a longer jab. He had faster hands, faster feet. He was bigger than Tyson. I think he was around 220. I think Tyson might have been 215. And there was two Alis too. You could take him before he got suspended. I think you would beat him. I think he would run circles, and then you could beat him. He would beat him after he came back from the suspension.
Tyson himself said Ali would probably beat him.
I saw that. Dude, the thing is, people like just because I didn't box, people think like I don't know any. I used to love boxing. I quit watching boxing when Oscar De La Hoya lost to Trinidad. I thought he got robbed. And what really made me quit watching boxing was when Roy Jones got knocked out by Antonio Tarver. That upset me, man.
Right before we get off this topic, though, I just want to say to everyone that says that Ali is not physically superior to Tyson, just imagine if Ali trained in today's day with today's nutrition, today's training methodologies. He was on top of the food chain back then, training. He would be on top of the food chain today, too.
I'll say this, too. Look at the records. Go on Wikipedia. People say, "Oh, he lost to Joe Frazier." Look at how many fights Joe Frazier had during Ali's suspension. People don't know this. I thought maybe like 3, 4, 5. He had something like 10 or 13 fights when Ali had maybe one. What did he fight? Query. What the hell was that guy's name he fought when he came back?
I don't know.
He fought one guy before they had the fight of the century or whatever. He had one fight, I think it was. I can't think of the guy's name. I think he was a Canadian guy. I could be wrong. I'd have to look it up. But, yeah, it wouldn't even be close.
So getting back to the gyms real quick, what do you think about it seems like we got a lot of competition for open mat right now, all that stuff. Is there a lot of beef there, you think, or is it not? It's kind of weird for me. I mean, most of these guys that we're supposedly beefing with, I'm like Minhouse, I like him, and you know, all these guys are like good people, I think. You know, they're all friends. They're just at a different place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I was weird. It was weird that they put their open mat like in direct competition with ours. I don't. Originally, when Antonio left, he said, "Yeah, man, we'll do open mat." But then all of a sudden, his tone changed. Like, I'm gonna do my own open mat or whatever. So, yeah, I don't understand what the deal with that is. Like,
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, we're a small little community, Buffalo. You know what I mean? We need to be kind of working together to beat the larger fish if we want to be going to these tournaments. You know, at least us. I mean, they're still doing a lot of cross training, so I mean, it still happens. It's just we could definitely have more opportunities to do it if we could do it in a better way.
Yeah, definitely. Like if that's your goal is to do bigger tournaments and stuff like that. I don't know. I think you should be training with your team. If you go to another gym when we have our, I don't know. I think that's shitty towards your teammates. I think you should be training with us, helping your teammates get better. If you are training in another gym because you feel like they're getting harder rolls, I feel like that's your fault. Then you should learn how to go like 90% or 80% or 50% or 10%. I've been training over 9 years. I'm not small, but I'm not huge either. But I could still get a roll out of like anybody. Like brand new first day one, I could get a roll out of anybody. I could. Maybe it's a brand new person. Maybe I'll just work a sweep over and over. Or maybe I'll just try something. Or maybe I'll let them put me in a shit position and I'll work out of it. Or maybe I'll just work my guard retention. You could always, and it's only one roll. I mean, fuck, we got a lot of tough guys, you know? Like, that's one roll. Maybe somebody else you go 70% against. Like, or, I don't know. It's a little bit selfish, like, to go to other gyms or whatever when we have. It's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you should be abandoning your teammates either. I'm just saying, like, open roles so, you know, we can see everybody and get together. Because we're all training different stuff, too. I mean, now that we're different schools, we have different games. It's nice to openly compete without trying to kill each other and not being in a tournament.
Yeah, we've had open mat on Friday for a while. Pursue had open mats on Sunday. I wish other gyms would have it like maybe another day of the week or something, you know.
Yeah, nice Saturday evening one would be good.
Yeah, I'd be all for that.
Since you got your black belt, it seems like you've been helping out at the gym a lot more than you used to. I don't know, you got your black belt, there's a split, all that kind of happened right around the same time. Was it getting your black belt that kind of changed your attitude? Was everyone leaving? A combination of both? What's turned you into the big?
I'd say it's a combination of both. Certain people left, like I don't know, maybe I wasn't like the nicest person hanging out. Maybe it like rubbed off on me or whatever. So maybe I was a dick for a while. I shouldn't be. I actually like being a nice person. I enjoy helping people. I actually like helping. What happened was Dub pulled his groin and asked me to teach him classes. I had problems with some of the MMA guys, not a lot, just a few, before. So I asked Dub, hey, can you put me on the fight team thread? He asked me to cover some of his classes. I said, hey, man, Dub asked me to coach. I'm just letting bygones be bygones. It's a brand new year, whatever. If you need me to help you, I will help you.
Whitman said you're a dick. I'm sorry.
What are you, live on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm live on Facebook.
Listen, he shouldn't have took that picture from May 13th. That's all I'm saying. He shouldn't have took that picture.
I'm not sure how I can type with his neck in that brace. It's got to be pretty tough.
Did you watch the movie, Whitman?
Watch the movie, he said, Whitman.
Bleed for this.
Bleed for this, and please do not hurt yourself typing. All right, continue.
So, yeah, I actually enjoy people. I like seeing people successful, my friends, you know, getting better. Honestly, at the end of the day, do it for what you do it for. It's just fun for me. I'm not trying to be a world champion. If you're 30-something years old trying to be a world champion, you're fucking, it's long too late. If you're 26 years old trying to be a world champion, it's long too late in jiu-jitsu. These kids from Brazil are fucking training when they're 8 years old.
Or younger.
Exactly.
On that note, you should come check out Western New York MMA's kids program, which I run. I'll be more than happy to take your kids around, show them the ropes. We do Muay Thai, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. Come check us out. You can just contact the school. I'll put the contact information in this page. So check us out. All right, go ahead. I got to put a shameless caveman plug in there.
I support that. Yeah, check it out, man. Check it out. I tell people all the time, check our gym out. If it's for you, awesome. We'll enjoy it. If it's not, at least you know. We got a free trial. So try them all out. If you don't think we're good, if you think there's another one, then we're not for you, then that's fine, you know. Give it a try. You
should definitely be training though. Each gym has kind of its own vibe, and just find a vibe that clicks for you and train. Mm-hmm. And then hang out on an open mat with us.
You're better than the people on the couch. You know, like people talk, I don't know. People talk shit to me sometimes, like out of context, like out of the sport or whatever. I'm thinking, I ain't the toughest guy in the world, but I'm thinking I don't train fucking 4 days a week for 9 years to let you beat me up. Like, I mean, maybe I ain't gonna beat you up, but I'm thinking you're not beating me up. Like, unless you train as much as me or whatever, I don't see that happening. But I ain't looking for nothing either. Like, I just enjoy the competition. I like sports. You know, I do jiu-jitsu for fun. I play hockey tonight. I actually really look forward to hockey because I only play 1 day a week, so it's something to look forward to. Then we have a week off. It's like, fuck, man, it feels like 3 months.
How did you get so good at memes? You're known for your legendary Mike Shultz memes.
Oh man, I got an app one time. Somebody sent one, and then I don't know. I'm pretty creative. Like when I have something set, I can be pretty creative. I would say memes aren't the best though. Like, man, they bring out an evil side of me. I don't like that. Sometimes I wish to stay away from stuff. So I had some, I thought, pretty clever ones that I still laugh at sometimes. But
how many memes do you think you lost when you lost all the information on your phone?
I was upset when I lost my phone. I was really upset with that. Luckily for me, I sent them to a bunch of people, so they were still like in private messages. So I still had a few of them.
How many do you think you've made in your career of meming?
I would say probably around 100 or so.
That's it?
Yeah, probably 40 or so, or one particular person. just that upset me or whatever. So I could be creative when it comes to stuff like that.
David Whitman said, yes, the Gimp has watched the other Gimp from the movie Rise from the Ashes of Gimpness. I just have tunnel vision. Now that's all, ladies. And Shultz memes are very mean and hurtful, laughing out loud. They are a little mean and hurtful. I've seen some pretty funny ones that were very mean.
Oh, my God. I have some that haven't even... I'll show you after the show. I have some that I haven't even shown people that are just straight up rotten.
That's pretty bad. My wife just Facebooked me too. She's on her way here, but the texts aren't going through because we're on the phone. Oh. What do you think about the IBJJF rule set? With the
honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just one small aspect of sport, of the sport jiu-jitsu. To me, I got into jiu-jitsu. My goal is to not get finished. That's my number one goal. Is if you can't finish me with a submission, eventually I'm gonna get you. That's my. If you can't finish me, eventually I'm going to get you. My goal is to always win by submission. I haven't won a match by points or takedown. At Fredonia, they have third period. I haven't won one in since I was a white belt. All blue, brown, blue, purple, and brown. All my wins were by submission.
I'm doing Fredonia this year.
Fredonia's good. People hate on Fredonia. People are like, oh, I could just go there and heel hook everybody. No, you can't, because then they could heel hook everybody. To me, it's the equivalent of let's go play basketball on a 6-foot rim. Oh, I'm just gonna dunk over everybody. No, you're not, because they're gonna fucking block your shit. Or they're going to dunk on you. So people think like, oh, Fredonia's stupid. Well, go win it then. Go win the absolute, and then you could say it sucks. Like, I like the rule set. I like how you can never be up more than 2, because there's a lot of flaws like in the IBJJF rule set. People think it's the best. It's the best right now because there's nothing else going on that particular day. I guarantee I could shut the IBJJF down if I was a millionaire. I could just say, I could set a tournament up the same day and say, okay, cash prize first place, $100,000. You think anybody's going to go to anybody that could win, like the black belts? You think they're going to go, like Rafa Mendez in his weight class, Lucas? You think they're going to go to the IBJJF tournament when they can win $100,000 at my tournament?
Submission only EBI rules. I like the EBI rules a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, that's cool. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of like brackets, because brackets determine a lot who wins. If you catch Rafa your first match, you're not winning. You're not winning the. You're not medaling. If you catch him first round, maybe you caught the guy who was the second best in the bracket, but he beat you. So, or you lost to him. So he gets no medal. Or maybe you go to a tournament and you catch a guy the first round who's lost the last 3 years in the first round. Maybe his goal is just to win a match. So he don't care about the big picture, like the whole tournament. He's worried about winning one match. So you might get that guy who's going 150%. He's not pacing himself for 2 or 3 more matches where maybe you got caught off guard. You're maybe pacing yourself a little bit better. And now maybe even if you win, you still had a lot tougher matches than the guys who were pacing themselves. But IBJJF, a lot of rules I'm just not a fan of. Like anytime you water down the sport and there's more emphasis on what you can't do than what you can do, to me it just waters it down. You can't reap the knee. That's so stupid. Like, how many people you could wrench a Kimura on somebody and hurt somebody. You could put them in an armbar and hurt somebody. It's all at the discretion of the person. Yeah, okay, if you reap the knee and you kick them over like super hard, okay, maybe then you can DQ. Same thing with, like, if you catch me in a Kimura and you rip on my arm, I'm no more safer. Right. So, but IBJJF, I don't know. I like, or I'll give you an example too. Say you get a takedown on me, and say you held me down for, let me think of an example. I pull guard.
540, you got 5 minutes.
Oh, shit. Damn. Okay, here's from a spectator who's somebody who knows nothing about jiu-jitsu. Here's a problem I see with IBJJF.
It's not fan friendly for sure.
Okay, we're in guard. You're in my half guard. We're in neutral, right? You're in my half guard. I sweep you. So now I'm in your half guard. We just went from neutral to neutral. Try explaining this to somebody who know nothing about jiu-jitsu. We just went from neutral to neutral. You got 2 points. Or I got 2 points because I swept you.
Right.
Okay. So now let's take the same scenario. Say you have me in side control. You're in a dominant position. I bridge you over, and now I'm in side control, and I have a dominant position. So I went from being dominated to in a dominant position, and I get 0 points because they call it a reversal.
Because you didn't get to neutral first.
How does that fucking make sense? Or stupid rules like you get the back and you figure 4 your legs, which is a lot harder to get out of than hooks. You get 0 points for that. I don't know. Just my thought.
Yeah, I'm not too... I like the submission only rule set myself because
people get up points.
I'm not so athletic. I don't like stalling.
People getting points, and they're not even worried about the finish. They're worried about winning. And when you get down a few points, people make mistakes because they're like, fuck, I'm down these points. I got to make up for it somehow.
You know, people always adapt to the rule set. So anytime you have a point system, people are going to get really good at getting points and stalling. Mm-hmm. And that's just how any high-level athletic event is going to be. That's why I kind of like submission only with, you know, no regulations in submission. You better be able to defend yourself. You know, it's more like real training.
Exactly.
That's my 2 cents on it.
I agree. Like I said, I can do any submission. Just give me time to tap. If you catch me, you catch me, you know. But
couple quick questions. Best girl in the gym?
At?
Jiu-Jitsu.
Best girl at the gym at Jiu-Jitsu. Dusty is very tough. Off the top of my head, Dusty's fucking tough.
I didn't even mean for you to think that much because I was using it to set up the next one. What do you think about women's only jiu-jitsu seminars?
I think it's sexist, in my opinion. People who generally cry the most about discrimination, to me, seem to discriminate the most. Like women's only seminar. If I had a men's only seminar, people would have a fit. If I had a brown belt and above only seminar, people would have a fit.
I think that should be kind of more happening. Brown belt and above, black belt only. There are black belt only seminars though.
I don't know. I just think it's discrimination.
What about bringing girls into the sport though? Girls are very uncomfortable training with men.
Let's be honest.
That's the way to bring it into the sport.
Let's be honest. A lot of times people get into jiu-jitsu, women say, are self-defense. They don't want to be assaulted or whatever. Who's going to be assaulting them? A lot of times it'll be a male. You got to be able to defend yourself against a male. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant of it. I don't know a lot of female on female violence. Maybe it happens. I think
you don't watch a lot of what the hell is that thing where they all fight all the time? World Star. You don't watch a lot of World Star. There's a lot of women on women violence on World Star.
Dude, I did actually see a video where that was funny.
Saul's dad's been posting the women on women videos all the time. It happens.
There was a video where 2 girls were in their car and the girl kept hitting. They had nice cars too. And the one girl kept hitting it, and then the one girl ran through. The girl had her door open and she ran through it, so the door was stuck, and then she kept beating. That was pretty solid.
We're at 5:45, so we're at Mike's almost hard stop. I just want to say, for women's only jiu-jitsu, I do think there's good things about the summer, especially when it's free, like Val does. I know you feel like it's kind of blatantly sexist, but I think it does bring women into the sport because I think women are very turned off by some of the atmosphere that goes around in the gym, especially a bunch of smelly, rolly dudes. I mean, you know how it is sometimes. It's not always the nicest place in the world for someone that's never done jiu-jitsu to come into. I think we do a pretty better job of it than most gyms do because we do separate the new people, and Doug teaches the women's only class even though he's a male, but we do separate the classes, and I kind of do even with a male teacher, that's okay for me. And I think separating them by brand new people, not having enough classes or roles, is another good thing, because I think people are out of control. I know my wife was very not into training for a long time, and training with the women only got her into doing jiu-jitsu. Now she does roll with a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, but she'll roll with guys that are under control.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. If you want to take women's only jiu-jitsu classes, and you get your blue belt, then you are a women's only Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt.
I'm not saying up to blue belt. Yeah, I'm just saying, to get people bring it into the sport. And I do think that women's bodies are different, and I do think you see that in the women's jiu-jitsu. They use different techniques, different setups because their bodies are different.
What about the smaller male though? What if a guy's like 130 pounds and then he says, you know what, I only want to do jiu-jitsu with guys that are under 130 pounds. We got guys 125, 130 pounds at our gym. Maybe they don't want to roll with the bigger guys, especially guy on guy. They guys are going to be a lot not so friendly with another guy as opposed to a girl. They don't want to be a bully on a girl. They're definitely more apt to go hard with a male, I would think, than a female. So now the guy's 130 pounds and you don't have a whole lot of people to roll with. So that's the one end of the spectrum.
I'm a small guy. You're a smaller guy too. I compete at 145. I walk around like 150.
I used to be a smaller guy. I'm a little bit heavier right now. I'm fat.
To be honest with you, when I'm not every day, when I'm training every day, I don't mind rolling anyone. But when I'm close to an event, when I'm trying to train, like if I'm training for Fredonia and I'm going to go, 150, 145, something like that, I don't like to train with anyone over like 190 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I remember Kyle Taylor talked about that with competitions. He could get hurt. Generally my first roll is with somebody smaller, just to loosen up. I pulled my groin twice, and it was generally rolling with heavier guys, and I just wasn't warmed up yet. So I like rolling with smaller people, rolling around a little bit, just almost like a hard flow roll, just to warm up a little bit. But
I like to invert a lot, so I like going against bigger guys. My neck takes a pound in inverting on the big guys. Even coming up with submissions and escapes, you still takes a pound in. It depends on your game a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, we can agree to disagree. I don't think it's really that sexist. I think it's kind of a good thing.
It is sexist. How? You know why it's sexist? Because the men couldn't do it. There would be they would have a shit fit if there was a men's. I posted as a joke, just to bust balls. I didn't even make the meme. Somebody made it for me. And not even for me. They just made it, thought it was funny because they know I thought it was sexist. They had men's only jiu-jitsu seminar. I posted it and they took it down. I can't bust balls. And the thing is too, like, that was on me. If you got a problem with that, like, let the women yell at me about it or whatever,
Right.
If I had one, people were upset about it. They were so upset that they had to take it down, like the post. Like, it wasn't like that big of a deal. It was just a joke. But
I don't know. A lot of women hate there. They're going to take you down. What do you think about the transgender?
Like that Fallon Fox?
Yeah, like Fallon Fox and the wrestler kid that was.
I saw
used
that.
to be a guy and he wrestled the girls, dude. That's even worse, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, it's too deep for me, man. I'm fucking. That's
anyone with testosterone in him is fucked up. It's cheating. You shouldn't be able to do testosterone and compete. I think it's a woman trying to become a man, so they're taking the testosterone replacement therapy, which that should disqualify you from a women's sport because now you're cheating. You're taking steroids.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole subject.
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like,
all right, well, we got people waiting outside. Mike's got to go. I'm gonna play the music and get out of here.
Play some hockey.
Mike's going to go get...
We just lost our first game in regulation. Fucking first time since end of August.
I want 6 goals tonight, Mike.
Oh, I don't score that many. I'm usually aiming for like a point a game. That's what I go. I average maybe a little over a point a game.
You ever listen to Jim Rome?
Nope.
Oh, like Rome is burned and they say he's a jungle karma?
See, I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm gonna give
you a long time ago.
Caveman karma. You came on here, you're going to have a great game.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And if it doesn't work, don't tell anyone. Just lie and tell them they did good.
It's usually, we're playing a tough team today. It's usually always chippy for some reason. I think it's just because we try.
Kicking it out. We don't have to play Mexican music because we don't have Ray Ayres today. All right. And with that, Caveman's Corner's over. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, dude. I'm sure I forgot. My memory's all terrible. I'm sure I forgot stuff I wanted to say that didn't say.
Yeah. I was trying to throw you under the bus. I was trying to throw you under the bus with the women's seminar. I think you're gonna get a lot of hate for that.
I just think it's sexist. Like, how is it not sexist? Just like BET. How is BET not sexist?
Oh, I'm still recording, Mike.
I don't care. How is it not sexist?
It's not sexist. It's racist.
Or racist. I mean, how is that not discriminating? Anything that's discriminating. I'm not for discriminating. People think I'm racist. I'm not racist. Like, I'm not for discrimination.
I I don't know. I think women's only seminars are good for jiu-jitsu. We need more women in the sport, really.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Some of my best training partners are women. I roll with them all the time, man. They're tough. So,
all right, we're gonna get your cough out of here. I'm gonna stop it. That's probably the most serious Easter egg ever.